Alright, welcome back to Decode Traders Hub. I know you had a great day yesterday, being a holiday, and some of you now are back to your works, your jobs. Hopefully you enjoyed your holiday. But of course, with trading, it's a bit crazy. I shared with the VIP yesterday how this has been happening several times. The stop hunt, even yesterday it happened, so I'll be sharing that on how it happened and how these guys, I believe they are just tracking where I normally put my stop losses, because it's happening a lot. Yeah, it's happening a lot, and I think I'm going to resolve to sometimes enter trades without putting stop loss. Yeah, it's not advisable, but some of the trades I'll be doing that. If I know the trade, I've put a tight stop loss. It may need to put a tight stop loss. I will not be putting my stop loss, so I'll be looking into that. But otherwise, I want to welcome everyone who is here. Hopefully you are having a good day. Those who are already online and those who come to check the analysis later on when the live session is done. All right, without any further ado, this is done as usual. Let's pray and get started with the day. Father, thank you for the day. Thank you for the beautiful morning. Thank you that we're back. It is a Tuesday, the 22nd of April. Thank you that we are back to take on this opportunity that you already provided unto us, Lord. As we start to trade today, grant us the wisdom and knowledge to understand everything, every move of the market, every signal they're giving unto us. Let us be able to understand it and use it for our own profitability, and we'll give you all the glory and honor, for you deserve it. We give you praise, Lord. Thank you for the signals. Thank you for the profits. Thank you for those that made profits yesterday. Thank you on behalf of those that made the profits, Lord. And those that made losses, we know that you will still recover them. You will still provide a recovery plan, and they will be able to recover, because we know it is happening. You cannot forsake us, Lord. Thank you. In Jesus' name we've prayed. Amen. Amen. So whether they leave once or not, we are making the money. Whether it tracks the stop losses, whether it does what, we are making the money. So that is one thing I believe, and that is one thing I know. It's going to happen whether it wants or not. So let's start today's session as usual with Crash 500. Alright, so Crash 500 yesterday, let's see. Yesterday, it later got some momentum to actually push. So this move here continued and went all the way down below. Okay. Okay, so let's understand according to H4 where it actually went. Remember, we are still on that it's a weekly order block. We are still on that. We wanted buys to get around that level and then we start to sell it, but we are not yet seeing any difference, any momentum to buy. As we speak, this is a change of, this is a break of structure right here according to daily. So yeah, yesterday it was a sell and it gave us a break of structure, so meaning sales are still on. But then I want to check on the left to see where we are currently. Yes, we are here. This is the level we are on, this candle on daily time frame. So reduce, go to H4. As we speak on H4, that is the last lower low that we can see here where price is. So hopefully we will see now, hopefully we will see now buys come in. Why? Because according to what I see on H4 and daily time frame, we are on the last price reached the last lower low, the previous lower low that this price has ever went to. So as we speak currently, according to H1, the buy momentum started today. Yes, the buy momentum started today, and yes, of course, according to this, we had a break of structure, but then after that the buy momentum started. So this would be like our current lower high. So all we need is this lower high to be taken out. Once this lower high is taken out, then we will be knowing that the buy momentum has started, or the buy trend has started. So if I can go to M15, this will be confirming what we want, what we will be waiting for even on H1. M15 is already confirming to us the change of the reversal. It's already confirming the reversal, M15, and clearly price has reacted back to this level. So it is this is a clear entry for the buy according to M15. According to M15, but I would first hold on. No holding on. Even from what I see, if I'm to enter, I have two options. I can wait for H4, but still I can go in with M15. Why? Because I have a change of character here, then I have a pullback to grab some liquidity on the fair value gap right about there. But there is also possibility of price coming to touch this order block. There is a possibility of price coming to touch that order block. So as of now, I may just hold on. I may just hold on to make the entry, but this entry is coming. This entry is coming. This entry is coming. Let me go to M5. Look at M5. Yes, price may do this now. According to M15, it has touched, but then there is change of character on M5, so price may still come come down right here before it goes into buys. So as of now, I want to hold on to make my entry. But where we are, if you can make your entry and maybe put your stop loss all the way down below. You know how we do that. All the way down below, you put it all the way down below here. Remember, this is not a big asset, so either way you can make some small money if you make your entry right here. If it makes a pullback, that will be your second entry right here. So as we speak, let's see, this is M15. M5 is not giving us an entry yet, according to, so I can wait for a pullback. If you want to enter right now, you can wait for a pullback or a spike on M1 or M5, then you can make the entry. If you don't get it, then you don't have an entry. Yeah, but according to what I see here on M5, I would wait for price to be oversold when it gets at least around there, which means if it is going down, then it will be coming around this area right there. So that's what I will be waiting for to see if it happens. Alright, so that is boom, crash 500. Let's now head over to boom 1000. Boom 1000. So boom 1000. Alright, so this was the entry. I shared this with the signal, the VIP signal guy. So we had this yesterday, which was like a flag. So we saw a breakout, but then it was just like a fake one. Broke out, retested, and then still went, but this car resistance level held up the market price right there. So we saw now a shoot price going back up. When we clearly see that we had no, it was an order block. We first go to H1, but it was not even a valid order block, really. It was not even a valid order block. Yeah, it was not even a valid order block. But then price decided to go back to that order block. 2 times it tested it. That's when it took me out on my on SLs, and then it started to sell once again. And then after breaking out from this, of course now I cannot use this because it is now we have new data. So all I can do is probably use this. Yeah, that's what I can use. Yeah, right there, because now it's a bit tricky. This is becoming like a resistance up there. So whatever we do, we know that we are still within this kind of range. Price is not having enough momentum. Remember, this is H1. If H1 is like this, then H4 is still very weird. So we just leave. This is, I wouldn't waste my time on this asset as I speak. Yeah, I wouldn't waste my time on this asset. The general trend should be a sell. Yeah, the general trend should be a sell, but we are consolidating as we speak in H4 and H1 to continue to later continue with sells. So as we speak, this is a no-go for me. According to M15, this is like just a retracement to later on continue with a buy to reach the other level. But remember, this is a resistance level where we are currently. so we need this push right there, and then price comes down again. Hopefully by then, this time it will actually break out and continue with the sales, but until then there's nothing we can do right here. So go to H4, let's delete that, and then leave this to. Sorry guys, I had power just went. These guys have also started to do the umeme thing. When they sense, when they see rain is about to come, they just take power off. So it's like clothes, man. So they've just taken power as I speak because it's about to start raining. Yeah, sorry about that. Apologies. But let's continue with Boom 500. So as I was saying on Boom 500, as I was saying on Boom 500, yesterday, let's start with yesterday. Yesterday it was this move. So I had already given you this kind of move to go back here on this order block according to H1. That was a fair value gap actually. So to go back to that fair value gap, grab liquidity on the fair value gap, and then continue in a sell. This is what happened. Price came right where my stop loss was. If I can go even to M5 or M1, you will see what I was meaning. Price didn't even go an extra inch or an extra thing, like any distance. It just looked for where my stop loss was. Look at that. Hit it and immediately started to sell. So that's what I was talking about. Like, this has happened several times when these guys are looking for where I put, they're tracking where I put stop loss. So that's the decision I'm looking at making, not to put a stop loss for some time. Then I can put only a stop loss when I'm already in profits or breaking even. Bring it when I'm breaking even, but not putting a stop loss when I'm starting to trade, because I've seen these guys track my stop losses several times this month. It has never happened as many times as this very month. This has been a crazy month, so I don't want to give them another opportunity to take me out like that. I want them to take me out when I'm wrong on the analysis, and yeah, that's what I want them to do, but not to take me when they are trying to go against me on looking for where my stop loss is. Alright, so that's what happened. Because this was a fair value gap right there on H1, so I had my stop loss above that fair value gap. They grabbed liquidity on the fair value gap here, waited to sells. Remember, my entry was here. This was my entry. They grabbed liquidity, waited to sells. Then, because I waited for that to happen, I waited for when they grabbed liquidity. But when they saw we are in sales, they again came to look for where my stop loss was. Where they took it, and then they kept playing around the same area 2 times, waited to sales, and later on went back, and now they grabbed which liquidity. Let's understand. They went all the way to the order block, I believe. It's not even a valid order block. It's not even a valid order block. It's not even a valid order block. So whatever these guys are doing, it's something crazy. Probably let me use this one on H1 on M15, but the one on H1 is Not even a valid order block. Even this is not a valid order block, but at least we can see there is some fair value gap after that late. So that's how crazy this whole thing was yesterday. So if you were a culprit like me, sorry for that. Yeah, if you put the exact stop loss that I was putting. So now let's first clear the chart at least, and then we look at today's movement. All right, so we know yesterday we were having this kind of thing. We had so this would be the let me see, let's go to H1. So this would be it right here. This would be it right here. If I do this, it will be this. Alright, so this would be that right there. And now where we are, price according to H1 is still having that kind of move to make. Either we will see it continue up again and touch the other trend line, or just touch this order block and then continue down into sales, because we need sales on H4, we need sales on M15, not M15, M30. So but we will use H1 and M15. So according to H1 we still need some buys. So until then, until we are ready to sell this asset again, I won't make any entries. So I need this other move according to H1 still has to come, or gives us another kind of opportunity to sell this asset. So this is still very slow, still within this consolidation area, this which is like a flag. One may say it is a flag. Remember, the reason why we are selling actually is we got a change of character right here. That is where we got a change of character. So this was like a pullback. So all we did is to start selling, and we see some break of structure right about here, right about there. So until then, I'm not ready to enter this kind of market. This is on boom 500. That is on boom 500. All right. So now let's head over. I'm now using a laptop battery, so I have about 34 minutes. Let me use them wisely. Let me go to Volatility 25S. Volatility 25S. Vol 25S, we had these points of interest. Clearly we see that price actually went for the liquidity pool above that order block. Yeah, I had not drawn the order block. Remember, I told you that it is there, but I'm not going to draw it. So it went and grabbed liquidity above the order block right there, and then went into sales. So all these were not important. Actually, this was important, but these ones right here, they were not important. So that move happened like we wanted. The only issue is I didn't follow it up for the entry. Yes, from this symmetrical triangle, we had a breakout. From the symmetrical triangle there, we had a breakout and a retest. Now this is where price pushed for this buying momentum to go all the way up yesterday. So we missed that move. So we can delete everything right here. Delete. And now delete even this. After that, we saw the sell come in. The sell came in to go around where? Around where? Go to H1. It's weird. We go to M30. Where exactly was price reacting to? There's no clear point of interest right here. There's no clear reason why price reacted to this level. So that would mean I go to H4. Then that's where I'll be able to see that order block right here. This order block right there. Alright, so go back to H1. Now we have this resistance. We have that resistance. Price went all the way up. I can delete this now. To the other resistance. Right there. To that resistance. One may, yeah, let me just use it like that. So it went all the way up for that resistance. Now we see something like a change of character again right here, right there, according to H1, right there. That will be like a change of character right there. So price is below our 10 mm and it is selling, and the other signal is coming from a CCI having touched the overbought level. According to H4, this was just a retest, and now we need to look at entering sales. Now according to H4, if I use Fib, that will clearly show you that that is our high, this is our low, and price clearly went and touched the retracement level, which is between 50 and 61.8. So thus, when now that is said, we can now look at, according to H1, we've been sort of like in an uptrend. We've been breaking structure. This was a change of character, break of structure, retest. This wasn't a break of structure, but this was a break of structure. But now on H1, we've now seen a change of character. So if we know that, then we know that we need something like this, then pull back. This pullback can decide to grab liquidity up, or can decide to come around here and take us down. So until then, I'm just going to hold. I need to see a pullback after this change of character. I'm not going to enter sales immediately, unless if I have an entry on M15, of which I don't have. So I will wait for this retest on H1. That's what I'll wait for to make the entry. So patience, remember what I told you guys, being patient helps and pays out. So for now, let's be patient and wait for the pullback on V25S, V75, V75. Now V75, I needed, this is what I needed. Those who remember yesterday, I needed a breakout and a pullback. So the pullback happened, but I wasn't online, I wasn't trading by then. So the pullback happened and went a bit inside, but look at what happened later. The buy momentum started, and I believe it's going to continue all the way to that level, all the way to that level. Yes, right now it is somehow on a resistance level right there. It is somehow on a resistance level. So if I go to M15, it will be telling me to look for sales. Yeah, it will be telling me to look for sales. If I go to H1, it will be showing me that it is overbought, meaning we look for sales. But then we need this move right here, this one right here, from here to there. That is the move that we need. Let's understand it according to H4. Yeah, H1. Yeah, that move has to happen. That move has to happen. We are still in an uptrend. Price is still above our 10 MA, which is a significant thing for us to understand that we are still in an uptrend. So for now, I'm not looking at any sells. In fact, I'll just wait for when this resistance level is broken out, and I can even enter this short trade to reach that other level. But as of now, this is a no-go for me to actually look at sales. Yeah. So I won't add on to V75. This I'll just leave it at H4 and wait for when sales on H1 will start. When price reaches there, I will wait for sales right from here. But I have to remind you that the general trend is a buy. This sell will be just a retracement according to H1 and H4. H1 will be the sell, H4 will be a retracement. The general trend is a buy according to according to weekly time frame. We need buys on V75. So daily is actually overbought, meaning it is also selling, meaning looking at what it left back, these points of interest, there's a fair value gap here, there's an order block right here. So all these have to be mitigated before it can continue with a buy. So that's why we'll be looking for sales when price reaches there. Perfect. But if it fails to reach there and it comes and takes out this, then you know that we've started sales according to H4, even though CCI is not showing it. Yeah, so first delete it. We don't need it now, we will need it later. So as of now, this is a no-go for me. I'll choose to go to jump 50. Let's not waste time on it. Jump 50. Now jump 50, we saw this breakout retest. That was an entry right there. I don't know if anyone made it, but that was an entry right there, a retest right there. By then I was very busy. This was what time? It's not online at all when it made this retest. There was 19, 20, 21, 22, around 10 p.m. right there. That's when it made a retest and started to sell around 10 p.m. from here. So we were supposed to enter our sales around 10 p.m. to push for this very sell. And now gave you a break of structure, retest to the breaker broke, went for sell again, break of structure, a retest to the breaker block, it's going to again continue with the sell. So you know the drill here when it is doing this. So we may even get an opportunity to enter a sell right here. If I can see M15 is not ready to give us an entry, but I think it is according to what we have. We have another block there. We have a fair value gap here that was M5. So all we need is that, and then push for that. If we want to scalp this on M15 now, M5, yeah, push that there or to the order block right here. Alright, so now that we have all that, we can delete this order block. It's mitigated. That can also be taken out now. It's already mitigated. This can be taken out. This is already taken out. Even that, we no longer need it. Alright, so all we need now, go to H4, price is returning. Price is returning. So according to H1, price is still looking for this sell right here, right there. It may even touch that fair value gap right here. So it may even go all the way to touch that fair value gap before we can get to see this move. So get ready for anything. According to H1, we are still selling all the way to this level. M15, I need a pullback, then enter sells. Alright, that is jump 50. No other thing I can add on to that. Let's now go to jump 25. Now, jump 25, let's first look at what we wanted. We wanted a retest from this fair value gap, then continue with a buy. But we got a fake breakout down below, and then gave us a change of character here, and then pushed for the buy. Of course, we needed a buy from this fair value gap, but it showed us that it's gonna go down below before we can come in with a buy. So that's what happened, and the buy went again all the way up, touched the order block. That is the second time, meaning this is a resistance level now. And now we can delete that, delete this, delete that, delete that, delete that, delete this, delete that. So we have touched that. H1 is overbought, so we probably need a pullback to that order block, but then M15 would be a bit better for us to know, and that would be this other right there. And then grab your cells from there to down below. So for now, that is a no-go for me. I want to delete this on H4, delete that, and yeah, just wait for that. This can also be taken down. I know price has to come here. That's what we need. So for now, go to H1. H4 is doing what? We are looking for sales. H1, we need sales, but once M15 confirms that. So until M15 gives us a confirmation, we have no entry for the sales. So let's wait for M15, or let's wait for the pullback up there. Yeah, and then we can enter our sales. Just a reminder, here it's gonna be a bit hard for price to break through here, so you just have to mark it as a resistance level currently. So price is gonna be pushed back and forth, and probably we get enough momentum to break through this weak resistance. break through that weak resistance. We have another weak resistance right here. Support. These are support levels, these weak support levels. We have those two. So if this is broken out, then it may react on this and then push for that. So let's wait for whatever happens, but as of now, I'm not entering anything on jump 25. Let's go to the last asset. We have about 16 minutes. Yeah, we have about 16 minutes, but of course on our time we have about 13 minutes to finish today's session. So let me try and hurry because of battery and power. So jump 10. Yesterday we wanted a breakout, then a pullback. Never saw a pullback at all. Look at that, we didn't see any pullback. So go to H1. It was oh yes, I know why we didn't see. I know why we did not see it. It was a descending triangle, and it had touched that level the second time, so we were not going to see anything right there. So price went all the way down below, and in fact one may say it even touched the trend line. Right there. I don't think it's going to go beyond that. It may. Let me actually use this like that. It may come around here. So for now, delete everything right here. Delete everything right there. This move is what we are on. I can now delete it. Now we want later on to get into buys. We want to get into buys. H1 is not yet ready. H4 is still giving us sells, but we don't need sells before we retest on H4. So we need H1 to finish selling, then we come in with a retest on H4, which will be a buy retest, and then M15 is also sweet. Let me wait and see what happens. But from what we see, one may say we actually had to put our trend line here, but let's wait and see how H1 plays out. Don't want to rush anything, so wait for H1. Remember, we want it to reach here, and then we enter buys to take us right about there according to H4, which is a daily, which is a support, which is a resistance on daily time frame. So resistance on daily time frame right there. That's what we need to see. All right, I think that's it for today. Let's do a recap, and we call it a day. Let's do a recap, then we call it a day. So we started from crash 500. The retest is there. We needed a retest to come back here, and it is happening according to M5. We even have a change of character right here, right there, having got to that level, which is a fair value gap. Did not touch the order block, but it touched the fair value gap right in there. here according to M5, so it started to sell. So all we need is price to get back here so that we can enter our buys perfectly. So for now, still a no-go. We need it there and then sell. Boom 1000, boom 500. It has gone back to that level, but are we ready to enter sales? According to M15, not yet. Even according to H1, not yet. So it's a bit weird. So for now, I'm not trading boom 500. Volatility 25s. We need a retest back there. We have a change of character, but we don't have an entry to actually continue with the sell, so we need an entry. V75, we need price to continue up there according to this structure right here. According to this structure right there, this internal structure right here, 1 and 2. So that's why we need this move that brought us into that consolidation within the rising wedge. So if we hit that level, then we can come with the sells. So that's why I'm still skeptical to think otherwise. But like I said, if price decides to break this level right here, then know that now we have started sells. But until then, we are in buys to reach the other level. Alright, jump 50, we are still selling it all the way down below. So all we needed is a pullback to at least get up there, and then we can enter sales properly. Alright, I'm starting to get a warning on the battery, so let me wind up. Jump 25, we need a pullback there, then sells, you know that. And then jump 10, we need actually buys right there. We need buys, so we need a pullback, then we enter buys. Let me wish you guys a good day. Hopefully you had a great time with me, and hopefully you will follow up some of these analysis and then continue. You